I want to talk about families today, how families are affected by addiction or mental health issues. The reason why many families never, ever get better and it becomes generational is because they don't make the right choices. There's a black and white choice. There's a right and wrong. There's no gray area. So many of us are afraid to let go, whether it's with family, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend relationships. We actually have the belief that if we don't stay there in a dysfunctional relationship or we help someone, that if something happens to them, it's our fault. No, it's not. A good example. I've been working with a family in a certain part of the country. They have a young man in his 20s who has been living at home for 4 years, not working, stealing from mom and dad, lying to mom and dad, manipulating mom and dad all the time, 24 hours a day. So somebody called me and asked me if I would work with the family. I said yes. My first comment to them was, look, if you need my help, fine. If I help you, I'm not going to lead you, I'm going to guide you because that's the only way that this can be done. If you choose not to listen to me, then I have to back out. Well, we started working. The family didn't realize certain things they needed to do. We got health insurance, which was important. Got him into a treatment program. After 10 days, this young man said that he was fine. The mother and I talked, and she said, look, he won't talk to me. He talks to my sister. And I said, well, here's the bottom line. It's 10 days. I said, you guys have had him in your house. Everything that he's done dysfunctional to you. If it happens again, you deserve it. It's not his fault. He's an addict. Well, he tells us he wants to kill himself. I said, here's the bottom line. How many times has he told you he wanted to kill himself? She said, since he was 18. I said, and he's how old? Early 20s. I said, he's not dead yet. And I said, here's what you have to understand. And she interrupted me. She goes, well, what if it happens and I feel guilty? I said, okay, I comprehend that. But here's the problem. If he keeps doing this, manipulating you into this by these comments, what's going to happen? He's going to be in his 30s, the same situation. Then you and your husband have nothing to complain about. Then you are the problem, not him anymore, because he's an addict. We already see he's an addict. He has some mental health issues, chemical dependency issues. His whole life, anything that's gone negative has had to do with his addiction to mental health. He's never wanted to admit that he has mental health issues, but he'll be the first to tell you he's depressed. He'll be the first not to get out of bed. He'll be the first not to eat for 2 weeks. He'll be the first to share all the symptoms but say he doesn't have a problem. It was very difficult for the family, but they agreed to do everything that I shared with them. And I said, look, I'm just helping you here. Doesn't mean I'm right, but I can guarantee I'm not wrong. They kept the boundaries with this young man. He went into treatment. 10 days after there, he told them, well, I'm going to be getting out, and I met a really wonderful girl in here. She's going to be my sponsor. I was like, well, that really doesn't sound right, because first of all, if you met someone in there and she's going to be your sponsor, first of all, no male should be a sponsor for a female, and no female should be a sponsor for a male. It just doesn't work that way. And so that was a huge problem. Well, I'm not going to come home. Well, they let him know. They cut off his phone. They cut off the bank account that they opened up for him. All these different things. So he called him up. I got to listen to the message, and he said, I'm going to go kill myself tonight, and I hope that every one of you, blankety blank, blankety blank. So they let me listen. They said, what should we do? I said, let's wait till tomorrow. It was harsh. The mother started to cry. I said, look, this is my suggestion. You do what you want, but you have to have boundaries. You have to have grounding for yourself. You and your husband need to get help yourself, because even though your son's been doing this, it fits a purpose for you guys. Are you trying to rescue your son? Are you trying to be his savior? What are you trying to do? Because you're complaining about all of his actions and behaviors, but you've done nothing. In a 3-year period, they spent over $200,000 on treatment for him in cash.